Here's the thing about Squidward Tentacles. He's the most relatable character in SpongeBob SquarePants, and that's what makes him tragic. He wants success, recognition, and peace. But every time he gets close, he destroys it himself. Not through bad luck, through his own choices and inability to get out of his own way. Squidward ruins his life because he's his own worst enemy. And most of us do the exact same thing. Today we're breaking down 6 times Squidward sabotaged his own happiness, analyzing why he does it, and uncovering the psychological traps we fall into when we ruin our own lives. Let's start with band geeks. Squidward gets a call from his rival, Squilliam Fancyson, who brags his band is playing at the Bubble Bowl. He asks mockingly if Squidward's band wants to perform instead. Squidward doesn't have a band. But pride won't let him admit it. He lies, hangs up, and panics. Squidward posts flyers. The entire town shows up. They're terrible. Patrick asks if mayonnaise is an instrument.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Nothing goes right. But Squidward had a real chance. His insecurity made him too harsh, too focused on proving himself instead of building something. By day 4, the band is fighting. Squidward delivers one of the saddest lines in the series.
You took my one chance at happiness and crushed it. Crushed it into little tiny bite-sized pieces.
But they didn't crush it. He did. His fear of failing made failure inevitable. SpongeBob steps up and teaches the band. They perform Sweet Victory flawlessly. Squidward wins. Squilliam faints. The lesson? Squidward had to get out of his own way. Your biggest obstacle isn't external. It's the voice telling you're not good enough before you've even tried. Squidville exposes running away to an idealized life that doesn't exist. SpongeBob and Patrick destroy Squidward's house. Squidward snaps.
I would rather tear out my brainstem, carry it into the middle of the nearest 4-way intersection, and skip rope with it, than go on living where I do now.
He sees an ad for Tentacle Acres, a gated community exclusively for squids. No SpongeBob, no Patrick, just peace. He moves in immediately. Day 1 is perfect. Everyone rides bikes in unison. There's interpretive dance and clarinet trios. Day 2, same routine. Day 3, same. By day 6, the perfection becomes suffocating. The routine becomes prison. He's miserable in his ideal life. Then he hears a reef blower. He can't resist. He picks it up and starts causing chaos, terrorizing Tentacle Acres exactly like SpongeBob terrorized him. The community chases him out. Squidward launches himself back home, smiling again. The brutal truth? Squidward thought his problem was SpongeBob and Patrick. But his real problem was needing chaos to feel alive. He ran away from what actually gave his life meaning. This is the comfort zone trap. We think removing all difficult people and challenges will make us happy. But happiness doesn't come from eliminating problems. It comes from engaging with them. In Squilliam Returns, Squilliam shows up at the Krusty Krab and asks if Squidward's still a cashier. Squidward lies. He says he owns a 5-star restaurant and gestures at the Krusty Krab. Squilliam says he'll bring his wealthy friends that night. Squidward transforms the restaurant to the Big Switch and trains SpongeBob on proper service. SpongeBob absorbs everything. It might actually work. But pressure gets to Squidward. He panics, micromanages, insults SpongeBob. Right before Squilliam arrives, Squidward pushes too hard. SpongeBob's brain breaks. He forgets his own name. When Squilliam's group arrives, SpongeBob can't function. The night collapses. Squilliam laughs in Squidward's face. The tragedy isn't that Squidward lied, it's that he ruined something that could have worked. SpongeBob was ready. All Squidward had to do was trust the preparation. Instead, his competitive jealousy made him so anxious he destroyed his own plan. This is what comparison does. It doesn't motivate, it suffocates. Squidward wasn't trying to run a good restaurant. He was trying to defeat Squilliam. When your goal is proving someone else wrong instead of doing something well for its own sake, you've already lost. Artist Unknown reveals something darker. Squidward's ego prevents him from recognizing real talent. Squidward teaches an art class. He's pompous and considers himself a misunderstood genius. SpongeBob signs up. Squidward ridicules him immediately. Then SpongeBob sculpts a perfect replica of Michelangelo's David in minutes, without training. Flawless. Squidward asks SpongeBob to teach him. SpongeBob's advice?
First I draw this head, then I erased some of the more detailed features.
It's nonsense. But it works for SpongeBob. Every time Squidward tries, he produces garbage. His ego can't handle it. He becomes obsessed with proving he's better than his own student. The episode ends with Squidward alone, surrounded by failed sculptures, screaming in frustration. He had the chance to learn from SpongeBob, to embrace creativity's mystery. Instead, his need to be superior destroyed his ability to grow. This is how ego ruins talent. Squidward's not untalented, but his desperate need for recognition prevents him from actually becoming an artist. He's so focused on the destination that he refuses to enjoy the journey, guaranteeing he'll never arrive. Just one bite is the simplest example, but might be the most relatable. Squidward spends years mocking Krabby Patties. He insists they're disgusting. He tells SpongeBob he'd rather eat at a dumpster. His entire identity is built around hating them. Then, alone one night, Squidward tries a Krabby Patty. It's delicious. He loves it. He sneaks back and eats another and another. He breaks into the Krusty Krab at night and gorges himself until he explodes. But even after all that, he won't admit to SpongeBob he was wrong. His pride won't let him. This is pride's cost. Squidward denied himself years of enjoyment because he was too stubborn to admit a mistake. How many of us do the same? Refuse to apologize, refuse to try something new, refuse to admit we misjudged someone, all because we're protecting an image that doesn't even make us happy? Squidward's pride doesn't protect him. It isolates him from simple pleasures. That's the cruelest self-sabotage, choosing misery over admitting fault. House Fancy shows how comparison literally destroys Squidward's life. Squidward watches a home improvement show called House Fancy, hosted by Squilliam. It features the most beautiful homes in Bikini Bottom. Squidward becomes obsessed with getting his house featured. He cleans, redecorates, perfects every detail. But it's never enough. He compares his house to Squilliam's and finds it lacking. He keeps pushing, polishing, obsessing over every imperfection. SpongeBob shows up trying to help. Squidward snaps. In the chaos, a tiny mistake spirals into catastrophe. The vacuum goes haywire. Disasters culminate in his entire house collapsing, while SpongeBob's house gets featured instead. The final insult? Squilliam calls Squidward to brag about the featured house, not knowing it was SpongeBob's. Squidward didn't lose because his house wasn't good enough. He lost because he couldn't stop comparing himself to Squilliam. His obsession with being better than someone else made him overlook what he had. In trying to compete, he destroyed everything. This is the endgame of constant comparison. You don't improve, you implode. You're not building your life. You're just trying to have a better life than someone else. That's not a goal. That's a trap. Self-sabotage isn't dramatic. It's quiet. It's the voice saying you're not good enough before you try. It's running to comfort instead of facing challenges. It's competing with others instead of developing yourself. It's letting ego block growth. It's choosing pride over happiness. It's destroying what you have by obsessing over what someone else has. Squidward isn't unlucky. He's trapped in patterns millions of people repeat daily. The tragedy is he gets glimpses of what life could be. Band Geeks proves he can succeed when he gets out of his own way. But he always returns to self-destruction. The saddest part about Squidward isn't that he fails. It's that he fails the same way repeatedly and never learns why. He blames SpongeBob, Squilliam, Bikini Bottom. But the real problem is staring at him in the mirror. We do the same thing. We sabotage relationships, careers, happiness, then wonder why life keeps going wrong. But life isn't going wrong. We're choosing the wrong responses. Squidward teaches us that you can have talent, opportunity, and potential, and still ruin everything if you let fear, pride, and comparison control your choices. The difference between Squidward's worst and best moments isn't luck. It's whether he's working against himself or finally working with himself. And that choice is available to all of us every single day.